This is week 12 following the Artist's Way book, and this is the last week of the book of the course. And I just want to give you like a summary of all the things and what I've been doing this last week. So, as I have said in the last videos, I have created moments during the day to dedicate to things that I like drawing and reading. And I have noticed that I am even more productive and more consistent that way than just how I used to do it, focusing on one thing the whole day because I thought I didn't have time to put things that I liked in between. But it's true that I've always needed like little moments of space between moments where I'm really concentrated on something. For example, when I'm editing videos, sometimes I just stop and I listen to music or go do something else, go for a walk because it I feel it gets to a point where it's like overwhelming, so I have to stop. Related to consistency and productivity, I have been able to draw every single week since I started this book, and I think I started it in January, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I think around January. And I really had doubts about this book. I was like, should I return it? Am I gonna finish it? Because I knew I was not consistent at the time, and I was like, I don't know if this book it's like what I needed. And now that I have finished it, I think it's really helpful because it gives you exercises and it keeps you doing things that you like during the weeks. And I feel I've been more consistent since I had this book because I've done it like I have read this book and I have done the exercises for 12 weeks, which is amazing. I have also uploaded the videos, and I think I have uploaded other videos in between, so there's more than 12 videos in a row, which is incredible. I think I have never done anything like that. I have been on YouTube before and I haven't been as consistent. I was on YouTube when I was like 15, 16 also. And I remember I started like really happy and excited, and then it gets to a point where I just burn out myself, and not only on creating videos but also on other areas of my life because I expect like fast or immediate success with the things I do, or just I just wanted people to notice it like really fast. So I thought maybe if I create a lot of content, like people are going to find it and they're going to watch it. And that's what I had been doing until I don't know, like a year or so ago when I was like, no, I think quality it's better than quantity and that I should focus on that. But it was not until this book where I was like, I should just do what I really like. And that's when I started applying all of the things. And now I am more consistent, which I'm really proud of, and more productive because I draw more, I paint more, and I have told myself that I want to draw every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. I want to dedicate time to art. And I've been doing that. Yesterday, for example, I did a lot of things and I was really busy and I didn't have time until like before bed. And I was like, well, I'm gonna dedicate at least 5 minutes to drawing, and it's completely fine. It doesn't necessarily has to be 30 minutes or 1 hour, 2 hours every single day, because there's days that you might be like you might be really busy and you don't have time for your art or the things that you like, and it's fine too. So that's why they decided to dedicate it 5 minutes at least. And before bed, I think it could be relaxing, something quick sketch or just something really fast. So I think this book, I will read it again and focus on just creativity, because I when I started this book, if you watched like the first maybe 3 videos, I was focusing on other things apart from creativity. So creativity was just like in second place. It was not as important, and I was focusing on, I think it was money, and there was something else, I think, and I didn't pay much attention to creativity. So now I would like to go back to the first chapters, and I would like to read it again actually, and I would just like to read it again because I feel like it has helped me to be consistent, as I said, and I would like to keep doing that. But it said that if you do something for a month, it would just become part of your routine. Hopefully, the consistency and creating and all of this has become part of me, that I will keep doing it even if I stop reading the book. I was also thinking maybe I could write in my journal about my progress every week, like the videos, right? And just talk about my progress, but in my journal. So that way, I keep track, and I see back, and I'm like, oh, I have painted often. I am being consistent. I am being productive, and I feel acknowledging those things makes you feel proud of yourself, and it also keeps you motivated. So I think it could be really useful. So this last week, I also started working on other areas of my life. I wanted to draw the diagram from the first weeks of the book, but I didn't have time. So I am planning on updating you maybe like in a month or two. It depends whenever I'm like, this is the right moment. And I might draw the diagram again because I would like to also focus on other areas of my life, like in the diagram, like the diagram showed. And I would like to also work on myself, not only my creativity, but other parts of myself. So I started reading a book called Resilient Me by Sam Owen. I have it right there. And I think it's a really cool book. I've started reading it and it sounds really interesting. So I thought maybe, I could make a series of videos talking about my progress also, and talking about the book, not the book itself, but like me being guided by the book, right? Like the artist's way. So I have also been implementing new things in my days. So I have started slowly. I've started, drawing more often. I have also I edit videos and content for my job, and that's something I do. But now, I'm instead of dedicating it like a whole day, I just dedicate a few hours instead of the whole afternoon as I used to do. And that way I have time to do more things in the days. Or if I focus one whole day for editing videos and content, then the next days I would just dedicate them to myself, which I also like because it's like, okay, I'm gonna take this out of my way and then just have the rest of the time for myself. I have those two options. And if it's just a lot of work, I would just try to do it like small amounts in a few days, so that way I don't feel like overwhelmed, or I just feel like I'm focusing way too much on one thing and I don't have time for others. Because I guess it happens to everyone, right? That sometimes you're working on something and then your energy just drains off, and then you don't have enough energy to do other things. So you're like, I just want to lay down because I just can't do more. So that's what I'm trying to avoid also. Instead of focusing all my energy on one thing, I divide it in a few things, so that way I can do a bunch of things in the same day and do things I need to do and the things I enjoy, and feel happy, because I feel it makes you feel happy to do things that you enjoy also. I also started reading a book before bed. And this week I finished a book. I think I started it like a week ago, and I feel really proud of myself and I feel really happy because I love reading and it has been a thing that I've wanted to do for so long. Sometimes I wish it was like some people that they just like spend the whole day reading, right? And learning. I feel it's really really cool, but I haven't had time, right? So before bed I read a chapter or two, and it's also when I have started reading Resilient Me. Before bed I read Resilient Me and I do the exercises because there's exercises also. And then like when I'm already in bed, I read another book, and it's I want them to be fantasy books because I feel that way it helps me, like be more creative and having more, I don't know, cool dreams, because I love dreams and I love lucid dreams also. So I think it just helps spark that creativity and imagination. The book that I read this week was Gregor the Overlander by Suzanne Collins. A really cool book. I was going through books and I found that one, and I was like, oh, Suzanne Collins, from the Hunger Games. I really love the Hunger Games. And I went to the comments and someone said, this is a book for 9-year olds or over, but it's one of the best books I've ever read, and I would say it's even better than The Hunger Games. And I was like, say no more. I'm gonna read it. I will say the story it's really cool. It's really really cool. I really really liked it. I even cried twice with the book because it was just like, oh my god. There's four more books. There are five books in total. But I have other books that I would like to finish first before I buy the second book of that series. And the book that I'm now reading, it's called Lost Christmas by David Logan. This is a book that I started reading and I didn't finish. I just read like two chapters, so I'm just going back to those books that I started and didn't finish, and now I am going to finish them. I also bought myself like a few, like four other books. I said I didn't want to buy that one, like the second one, but like I would like to buy it. But like I also would like to finish reading because I think I have the one I'm reading now and another one that I want to read. And I don't know if there's more. I think that's it. I just have those two. I was going through the books and I found the second part of a book that I have the first part there. So I bought the second part. And then I found another one about a bookshop, about like some people that go into the bookshop and they see something. What was it? Like they see their lives in the books, and something magical happens, something like that. As I say, I wanted it to be like fantasy and magic and stuff like that. So that one sounded like really cool. So I bought that one, and then I bought another one. Oh, it was about like some magician that turns into something else. I don't remember the word. And it's in a world where they trade with secrets, I think it was, and it sounded interesting. I buy the books from like secondhand books. So there's like they cost like an euro, 2 euros, and they're not usually as bad. Like they usually it's just like a scratch in the cover or something like that. So I'm like, it's fine. What I want to be fine, it's the middle part, the book, right? The cover, it's fine if it's scratch or something. The only book that cost more was the bookstore, bookshop. That was like 8 euros, but it was pretty good price also. And I found another one that was something about like helping you studying, that gives you techniques, and yeah, it just makes you improve learning and studying. So it was like, oh, this sounds really cool. I read the comments and everyone was like, oh my god, this is the best book. I wish I had found it years ago because then I would have like, good grades and I don't know, all this stuff, right? And I was like, okay, I need that because I've been trying to find techniques that helps me study and focus more, and maybe that could help me. So I bought that one. That one was like €2. And I used to not like to buy second hand books. I mean, second hand things. But then I was like, "W- it's fine. It's just books. Maybe are there are books. Those are books that people like returned or something happened to them." So I was like, it's fine. And honest, I'm gonna show you one of the books. This one, for example, you see here, there's like these. I think it already came with a tape, so it's fine, and it's okay. It looks perfect. Like the rest it's perfectly fine. As long as they're fine, that's great. Something that I'm also planning to include in my day is studying, because I have studied, but I have been like there's been like 2 months that I haven't, and I would like to start back at it because I would like to be more consistent and I would like to study more often. So maybe that book is going to help me. And I'm going to try to read, at least a little every single day. Maybe start, little by little. Just, yeah, maybe that way it can help. And the books come like in a week, I think. So, yeah, maybe I hope I can finish this one in a week. I don't know if it's gonna be possible. This one's longer than the other one. Than Gregor, this one's 275 pages. No, actually, the other one was like 200 pages. So it's actually good length. Maybe I can finish it. The other one, it's the only thing what happened. It's that the last 10 chapters, it was like so good that I just read like all of those in one sitting, and I left the 2 chapters that I read yesterday. But like I read like a bunch of chapters in one night, so that's why I finished it like really fast. But it was like it's like a really cool story. About my artist dates, I drew. I'm gonna show you what I drew. I also painted. I've been working with my new acrylic markers that I absolutely love. The only thing is that I feel the colors are a little bit more like pastel, but maybe it's just the colors that I used in one painting, because I feel there's other colors that are like more intense. So maybe it's just me that I didn't choose the most vibrant color. But apart from that, I just want to say that I'm really grateful for if you have watched until this moment and followed along. I will keep making videos and documenting my life about other things that you will see next week that I'm really interested in. So I hope to see you there. I just want to say thank you for being here.